Hi, I'm Reed with Trap Souls Nuclear Soul Seekers. We brought Becca Freshley in today to tell us her experiences with the paranormal, where her religious stances are, and we're doing an investigation here at Hunter's Tavern, previously known as Hunter's Inn in Trumbull Township. So we got access by Mike and Patty to come in here, meet everybody, see if we can talk to some old souls in here. So we also have Sammy joining the investigation. Ryan, who's not on the camera right now, and as you all know, Bird. So, Becca, tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you in today?
Well, first and foremost, hi guys, I'm Becca Freshley. It's so nice to meet you. If you want to catch me, come follow me on beccafresh.com or any social media, Becca Freshley. I'm super excited to be here. I feel like I'm living out a little childhood fantasy because little Becca loved ghost hunts.
Okay.
My first ghost hunt was in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And I'm going to give you guys a little behind the scenes of my life that most people don't know about me. I was actually a Civil War reenactor, and I did living history.
Wow.
So I got to go to a lot of really cool places. My first ghost tour was actually in Gettysburg, on the battlefield in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And Devil's Den, and oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That was dark. That was it was like a fog of darkness, but you could see everything. It was crazy.
Just heavy.
Heavy.
Okay.
Heavy. It's like somebody put like 50 weighted blankets on you and was like, okay, walk.
No? We've talked about that before, too, where, a lot of people feel that maybe spirits are still involved in the not reenactments, obviously, but those that passed are still on the battlefield. They still see and feel everything that happened before. Do you believe in that too? Did you get a sense of that, or just the heavy feeling of death? Or okay.
We absolutely, it's a joke in the reenacting community that we are dressing up as them, and then they think that it's normal. Okay. You know what I mean? Except, what are these cars? What are these people? Like, there's been pictures where I could swear, like, there's just like this random little sliver in the marching line filling up an extra slot at the end of the line, and I'm like, wow, that parade was during the day.
Yeah.
Like, why is there a random line? I wish I had that picture. I'm sorry. My dad's got it.
Okay. So how, when did you get out of that? The reenactments?
About when I turned 16.
Okay.
I mean, I still have a little bit of involvement in it. I actually work I'm sorry, not work, but I belong to a government chartered organization for that Civil War.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Very interesting.
We go around, we tend different gravestones of the Union and Confederate soldiers, but
Okay.
mostly the Union. So yeah, we'll travel around to different places, and I was actually able to be blessed and go to Washington, D.C., and go there with my dad and my mom. Wow. The energy there, it's an old town. It's so heavy. It felt like Gettysburg, you know?
Okay.
It's cool to be able to travel to all these places and feel the different types of vibes, energies, dark, heavy, light. They all have something, and that's why I love it. It's every different place, there's something interesting.
Okay. So you mentioned Devil's Den. Was that your favorite part of being in Gettysburg, or was there anywhere else that you'd like to speak on?
I love all of Gettysburg. There's the Jenny Wade House, which that's so popular. You know about the Jenny Wade House. Your girl stuck her finger in the hole. I did.
Okay.
Oh, that sounded bad. It's not like that. Promise. But there's a bullet hole. You stick your finger in, and it's said. Do you know the legend?
No.
So it's said that if you stick your finger in the hole, that you'll only be blessed with one marriage.
Okay.
I believe that's what it is. I would love for you guys to correct me if I'm wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong, but it has something to do with like love, marriage, fun, and boyfriend, something of that nature. Don't remember. I was like 8 years old when it happened. Sorry. I'm almost 30 now, so a couple decades later, I'm a little rusty.
Well, I failed. When I was there and did the tour, should have stuck my finger in the hole at Gettysburg.
Me too. It would have saved me a couple marriages.
Would have saved me a couple marriages. But anyways, yeah. So that location, actually, I went on a ghost tour down there, and they said it's the 8th most haunted place in the United States.
I believe it.
Jenny Wade House.
I believe it.
So shout out to them. We'll be out there sometime, I'm sure, right, Ryan? You probably already have it planned somewhere down the road.
Hope so.
I like it.
May I suggest we go during Remembrance Day weekend?
When's that?
I believe in November.
Yeah, unless it's cold, I'm
Okay.
good.
Yeah, colder the
I
better for
could
Ryan.
pull a lot of strings for you guys, maybe. I don't want to for sure say that because I can't pull them immediately out of thin air, but I could do some talks and we could probably get something going where it's pretty cool.
Okay.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Maybe in the future.
Wow, would you influence others to let us go down there?
See what you did there.
Oh, did you like that?
Wow, that was snazzy.
Yep. If you haven't caught it,
Smart on his feet. I love it.
influencer. Okay.
That's what the government classifies me as anyway. So
Okay. The government.
let's not talk about
Yeah. Okay. So what? So obviously I reached out to you. Just wanted to get you involved with our group, and you actually volunteered to come out here and
Yeah.
do a podcast. And then you were like, "Hey, if you're ever going to do an investigation, I'd love to do one." So, besides the Civil War reenactments, what brought you into spirits? And I know you talked a little bit about religion before the podcast started. So, would you like to speak on that?
Yeah, so I've been pretty spiritual and in tune my whole life. Like, you know, even as a child, I would say things I would speak to my parents. And there was a time where I wasn't religious, and it was very dark and very deep in my life. And I was in a room full of demons, and the only familiar face was God's face. And that gave me the confidence to come here tonight and know and completely know I will be safe no matter what, because God's got my back.
Absolutely.
No matter what. So that's my complete view on things. I've seen demons. I've seen darkness. I've seen a whole room of them. And then you see God, and it's just like, Dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always been a daddy's little girl. To my own dad, he's an embodiment of God, and so is I'm just so blessed. So yeah.
Well, that's got to be comforting then coming in here. So we don't expect, so coming in here, we're going to meet with Mike and Patty, the owners of this building. They just took over about 4 to 6 months ago.
Wow.
So they're new to it. Mentioned that we did the ghost hunt. They actually follow our podcast. And
That
watch.
scared me. There's a guy trying to get in right now, guys. And the door's locked, and all you see is a little head and a hat peeking around. Woo, my heart rate just spiked. We're all just like looking at it now, waiting for him to come back.
I didn't know what was going on. I'm talking about Patty and Mike, and all of a sudden everybody goes
He's trying
crazy.
the door,
So-
it's locked.
So, anyways, they follow our podcast in our group, and they watch everything we do. And I was bringing it up when I was actually here drinking water at this bar.
Sure.
Yes, water. Heavy water drinker. Don't touch bourbon. Not a fan. But anyways, talked to them about this. They asked if we did anything local, and that's when we talked about coming in here. And they actually gave us the access to this place, which I don't believe anybody's ever done an investigation here. And we've been doing a lot of new places lately.
Wow.
Ryan's kind of authorized us to try to go out and find our own haunts and set up our own things within the group to diversitize. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Thanks for the leeway, Brian. I appreciate you.
Here for
Like, this sounds really fun, so we're the first?
The first here that I know of. So
Wow.
this will be a big thing for them with advertising and, history. So we took a couple pictures that we'll add to the podcast later on, from horse and carriage to the 50s up on the walls.
1900s to the 50s/60s.
Yeah. All right. So, Sammy, anything to add? Any feelings that you got when you walked in today? Nothing walking in? Nobody breathed in your ear here yet?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
Not yet.
What about you, Becca, when you walked in? What was your feeling walking in the building?
Walking into the building, it's not that I didn't feel uninvited, I just felt like something's hanging out. And so I walked in, I was just looking, observing, looking at the different things. A few things caught my eye, and I don't know if you see what's back behind us, but there's a piano over there. And what's the device that we have on that right now?
What do we have? EMF?
Okay, so there's that on there. And I walked in the middle of the area. I was, I don't know, what, about 2 feet away?
Yeah,
Would you say?
probably.
2-3 feet away? And it just started going off immediately when I walked up, and I'm like, oh wait, maybe it's my phones, maybe it's my watch, I want to debunk this. So I take everything off and I go back over, and it doesn't do anything. So we bring our phones back and we're trying to get it go. It does a little bit right when we get next to it, and then it stops. And I was like, interesting. And that was right after we were talking about how we wanted them to play the piano for us tonight. So that would be really cool if that happened. But either way, that was a really cool, first interaction. I mean, I believe I caught it on camera, so if I did, hopefully we can insert the footage now. But if not, y'all have to take my word for it.
Take our word for it. All right, but anyways, we just wanted to get this pre-interview done with you, Becca, before we start the investigation. You'll be here with us for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And soon we'll be going dark, lights out. We're going to do a quick tour with the owners after we insert them into the next podcast here for a short little talk through. And hopefully we'll get some answers for them and the public here in Trumbull Township.
Yeah, it was so great to meet you guys. I'm super excited for tonight's investigation. Let's go!